Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Everybody okay?
Yeah.
Had a good day so far?
Yeah.
Seen some amazing speakers? That was a bit worrying. So, thank you very much for being with me. We're going to be here for about the next 30 minutes. And when I was asked to come and do this talk, I was told this was going to be a workshop. So, you guys are going to be working. Right from virtually from the very beginning, we're going to take you on a bit of a journey. Because I really want to help you understand what digital leadership looks like for a salesperson. Now, if doing the sale is the close of the client, what I want to talk to you now is really all about why content needs to be your strategy. Now, as we're getting to understand who this prospect is and what this prospect looks like, I'd like to kind of share with you a bit of a movie. So who here have heard of a guy called Will Smith? Just let me know. You heard of Will Smith? Okay, good, good. So he made a funny little rom-com called Hitch. Who's seen Hitch? Okay, it's good, good. So people that like Will Smith have seen Hitch. So I'm just going to share a particular scene with you, and it's the walkie-talkie scene. I don't know if you remember it, but I'm going to walk you through it a little bit. So Eva Mendes, she's called Sarah, she's a columnist, and she's in her office, and she's on the phone, and she's flicking her hair, and she's chatting away, and she's on the phone, and all of a sudden, there's a guy walking down the hallway. He's got his headphones on, chewing a bit of gum, walks into the office, and he's like, Sarah, Sarah, and she puts the phone down. Yeah, that's me. He walks over to her, puts a box on her desk. She's like, what's this? He goes, just sign for it, will you? So she gets it, she signs the pen, and then she goes to the box, and she opens up the box, and she pulls out a walkie-talkie. She's looking at the walkie-talkie. Hello? Hello? Hey, it's Alex here. I said I wasn't going to call you. Okay. So, we were talking about not going out. What I'd like to do is to take you out. So, what are you doing on Friday night? I can't, I'm busy, I've got too many things to go to, I've got loads of parties, I'm way too busy. Over. Alex goes, okay, no problem. Not Friday night, what about Saturday night? And she's looking at everyone in the office, and they go, no, sorry, I've got a date on Saturday night. She goes, like that. And she goes, okay, no problem. What about Sunday morning? Sunday morning, 7 o'clock. You can't be doing anything on Sunday morning. She's like, okay, let's do it. She's like, well, what time are we going to meet? Well, 7 o'clock, down the arena. She goes, I don't do 7 o'clock. And he goes, over, and puts the walkie-talkie down. The delivery guy takes that box off the table and puts another box on the table. In that moment, he knew exactly what to do. So she's like, what, is this for me? She goes, yeah, okay, she signs for that box. And then she does a nice little bow on it, and she undoes the bow, and she takes out the box, and she pulls out a wetsuit. She's going jet skiing at 7 o'clock in the morning. The reason why I want to share that story with you is because there is one social network that gives you the power to listen to what other people are saying and doing, so that you, as salespeople, in that moment, can connect, engage, and have a conversation with that person and convert them into being a happy customer of yours. So, this is what I'd like you to do now, is, see these two beautiful girls here? They're my two little babies. And it was because of technology, actually, I took my phone and I swiped right on my phone. I found a wife and I found two little baby girls. So I've moved away from London and now I've become a little bit of a beekeeper. So I've now got 50,000 bees in the summer. You've got the height of 50,000 bees. I don't know whether you know this fun fact or not, but towards the end of the summer, all the girls kick out all the boys. The queen no longer has any use for the boys. So at that point then, the hive dwindles down a little bit. So I've now become a lovely little beekeeper. Now on the business side of things, I'm very fortunate enough to travel all around the world. I've actually visited 22 countries in the last 2 years on 5 continents. And I love talking about digital leadership and helping companies go through a digital transformation. And a few years ago, I wrote a book. And I wrote a book called Think Digital First. I wrote this in 2013. I rewrote it again in 2017, so I'm going to give you some data around all of that in a minute. And I've got a bit of honey with me today from my amazing bees. So, quick question for you. Would anybody like a copy of this book and get some of this honey? Anybody in the room? Any hands in the air? Yeah, it's not that easy, guys. We're talking about technology here. So, what I'd like you to do, please, is take out your phones. This is the starting point of your workshop-style approach. Take out your mobile phones, please. If you'd like to take a little picture. Does my bum look big in these trousers? No. So if you take a picture, and what I'll do is I'll come and find you in about 30 minutes' time, and the first person who sends out the tweet with a picture, Twitter handle, use the NSC19 hashtag, whatever you want to do, I will come and find you and give you a copy of my book and give you some of my bees' honey. Very good, thank you. First thing, mobile phones. I want you to open up LinkedIn on your mobile phone, please. Now, I know Charlie did a talk to you earlier on. Unfortunately, I wasn't here to see him speak. But hopefully, I'm going to give you something a little bit different. Take out your mobile phones, please. So you should all open up your LinkedIn profile on your mobile phone. I'm going to do it with you so we can go through this process. Open up LinkedIn. And then what I'd like you to do, down the bottom, so as you can see here, at the bottom, so this is the home page that you should have now of your mobile phone, you can see this little thing that says My Network. Has everybody got that? So you should be on your home page where you can see streams of information. If you click on My Network, what you will then do is find this little button here, and then just above that button, you'll see this, Find Nearby Off at the moment. What I want you to do is click that so it comes on. And what I want you to do now, what this does, okay, so is Michael in the room? Is Michael here? Yep, hey Michael, good to see Emma. Is Emma in the room? Hi Emma. We've got Steve Meek in the room. Great, hi Steve. Martin. I could go on and on and on and on and on. Everybody in the room right now has the potential to connect with each other by using that one very simple feature. So stage one for LinkedIn, build your connections. Build relationships with like-minded people and individuals that are going to help you achieve what you want as a digital leader. So we're going to come back to this in a minute. What I want to do for you now is give you a bit of a mindset shift. I want to help you understand how being a true digital leader as a salesperson is going to help you win more business. So we're going to do a little bit of benchmarking. And this is where we've got to be truly honest with ourselves. Because where we understand where we're at today and we know where we want to be in the future, we can start working towards that. So what you're looking at on the screen at the moment is a prospecting benchmarking framework. And it's based on the people that are doing not so good at the moment, all the way through to those individuals and companies that are absolutely nailing the concept of prospecting and turning that prospecting, i.e. marketing, and putting that into sales. So let's make this a little bit bigger for you and go through this. Initial, so in other words, you're behind the curve. Ask yourself these questions. Now, I'm going to share some data with you when I've done this a few times in the room, and it's generally round about the same. It doesn't matter what country you're in. I've literally just come back from Sweden yesterday, and the data was exactly the same. So where are you at the moment? If we think about your journey, have you got your customer journey defined? And I'm going to take you through a 9-point step process to finish up everything for this next 30 minutes. Have you got some KPIs? Do you have your sales collateral, which is connected to your content strategy? Your marketing technology, have you got tools that you're using that helps you get a better understanding of who those prospects are? Are you focused on individual channels and sharing individual content on that channels? So is this you? Are you slightly behind the curve? Number 2. So now we're developing. Yeah, we've got a high-level understanding of what the journey looks like for our customers from an online perspective as a salesman. We are focusing on one channel, so maybe you are looking at LinkedIn as a channel, or you're using Twitter, or it might be email marketing or some prospecting online, but you're really getting to understand what that means for your business and for you. We've got a couple of key points of data source, so maybe we're measuring the traffic coming to the website through to a landing page that's converting that prospect. Maybe we're getting some of that data. We've got a tech team that are kind of quite archaic in the way that they're working at the moment. So whenever I ask them for something, probably ends up never getting done. So where are you? Is it number 2? So we're looking at, are you going through that developing stage? Number 3. So now we're getting really competent in regards to who we are as a person and what we want from our organization, thinking about our customers first. So we've got some micro journeys defined. We know when this person goes onto the internet, they then come through to our website. We then get picked up exactly who that company is. It's connected to our CRM, goes through to the marketing team. They track and measure that. They score it and maybe pass them over to you. So have we got some defined touch points going on? Have we got some data that we can take a look at? Is that strategy really being executed the way that we want it to be as a salesperson? So are you competent in regards to the way that you're working at the moment? Number 4, now we're getting really good. We're slightly above average. So we've got lots of different micro journeys defined, whether that's from an event that we do, giving our contact details out, tracking them through what's happening. We've got integrated data, so we can clearly see exactly when person X does what, and then compared to person Y and how they convert it. Have we got true tracking to help define that? Is our organization aligned around the customer experience against our KPIs? Is there alignment from the customer compared to the company? Do we have that aligned yet? So that's number 4. And then lastly is we're being a market leader. We've got all of that data talking to each other. We've got personalization content going out. You're all going to be having a little bit of fun with artificial intelligence in around about 10 minutes' time. And I have personalized that journey for you being here today. Are you personalizing that journey for your different types of target customers? Are you getting business results driven by holistic customer experiences and continuous improvements? So they are the 5 that I wanted to share with you. Now, really be honest with yourself and ask yourself, do I sit around about 1 and 2? Maybe I've got some 2 and 3. In general, around about 20% of people will be at number 1. About 50% of people will be at number 2. And it drops down to between 2 to 5% on number 5. So if you're sitting round about 2 and 3, then that's okay. You're doing an okay job at the moment. But you know where there is room for improvement, because we want to get to that point where we are giving personalized communication to our perfect target customer. What do we need to do that? So this is the mindset shift that I want to go through with you. I did this for myself 2 years ago, based on where I was at, what was going on before I had the children turn up in my life. I had to really think about how could I spend that quality time with them. And I wanted to be here earlier today to listen to Charlie's talk, but unfortunately my eldest, she's like 2.5 now, she was like, "Daddy, can I have a fire bab?" And so that means we have a bath, turn all the lights off, and she puts candles all around the bath. That's what I was doing at 10 o'clock this morning. So I was enjoying my time with my girls because I went through this process of reinventing myself, the way that I communicate online. And the first part of that is all about you. It's all about you need to rethink your value proposition. Who is it that I am? How is it that I can help my customers? And between those two things, I need to clearly define what that looks like. So for me, I want to reach 1 million business leaders and help them understand their culture, their communication, and the technology that's going to embrace Generation Alpha by 2035. So I've given myself a 15-year goal because of my girls are Generation Alpha. I can look in the room now. We've got quite a few millennials in the room, and we've got another challenging experience coming into the market at the moment, which is Generation Z, who think completely different to a millennial. So I want you to rethink your value proposition, because there is no change without change. We can't think that we're going to get the results that we want doing the same things that we used to be doing. Technology is here, and thinking digital first is critical for you to succeed and thrive in this very exciting environment. The second part is we need to be remapping our community. I've shared with you very quickly how we can get connected to every single person in this room using that one social network. Where are the opportunities for you? Where are those niche verticals where you know as a salesperson that if you use a tool like LinkedIn, and I'm going to show you how to do this in a minute, how you can find out exactly who's saying what and who are those thought leaders and who are those companies out there saying, I need help. So we need to be thinking about how we can remap our community. Because in 1997 is the year that when Generation Z first started and they are now coming into the workplace. Generation Z will be the richest generation ever. And if these people are going on a journey and they're already using social, they're used to being there in front of Instagram and taking selfies of themselves. They're used to using that technology. They will be coming into LinkedIn and using it in exactly the same way. They will be live streaming. They will be doing videos. And if you're listening to those conversations, this is a great opportunity for you to do what you do best. Now, when I wrote my book back in 2013, I looked at this. How many times does somebody connect from an online perspective? So I know you have data around from a sales perspective, but I'm talking about online. I looked at this back in 2013. It was around about 8 touch points. So 8 times from somebody not knowing your business all the way through to them becoming a happy customer of yours and being a huge brand advocate. When I looked at that again in 2017, that had increased to 9.2. So what I want to do for you now is visualize this. I want to show you exactly what this looks like and the journey that that person goes on. The first part is all about being relevant. Now I'm talking about being hyper-relevant, super personalized in communicating to that person, that exact perfect target customer. We have to tell a story. We've got to talk in the right tone of voice. We can't talk to them in the right tone of voice if we haven't redefined our value proposition. Then we come through that process of engagement. LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. If your kids are using TikTok, whichever social network, they are all based on an algorithm that is based on engagement. If you don't have a two-way conversation back with that potential prospect of yours, I can assure you, especially if they are a millennial, they will happily go somewhere else. The next phase is probably the most important part, but the bit where I say most organizations failing, and that's nurturing. We spend our time building brand awareness, trying to talk to our perfect target customer. We bring them through a really nice sales funnel, getting their contact details, and then forget all about them. So put this on automation. And the little tip for you with the automation, do empathy automation. Truly understand what those wants and needs are of that person, how they think, how they see, what do they look like, what's important to them. Then that brings them through to the sales process where you can then go and close them. And then they become a happy brand advocate of yours, going and talking about you and your business in this great social network, which is LinkedIn. So there's the 5 phases to go through from being a visitor through to a prospect and then getting that customer to be a happy customer of yours. Anybody in the room connected with me today or before, never met me before? Okay, great. Come on, stand up. Do you know what? I'm going to bring over a book because you put your hand up so quickly. Come here, bring it in. Give us a cuddle.
Oh, hi.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Lovely to meet you.
Lovely to meet you too. Thank you very much for that.
you.
Cheers, Jane.
Cheers.
Look at the smile on her face. So it's not just about trying to think about closing that person using this social network. It is about putting that smile on their face and building relationships before you get to meet that person. So it immediately breaks that barrier down. If we're going to be sharing content, there's a 3-step process that I like to think about going through. And it's really key that you share the right type of content through these different phases. If you've just connected with somebody on LinkedIn and they send you an email that says, please come and join the webinar that we're running, Well, let me ask this question. Has this happened to somebody in the room where they've asked you to give you their contact details the minute you've connected with them and you've probably deleted that person or unsubscribed from them? Who's done that before? Exactly. Because they failed at doing this, the awareness stage. They haven't built trust with you yet. So why on earth would you hand them your contact details and give up an hour of your time to jump on a webinar of theirs? You just wouldn't do it. It's probably about 50% of the room have said that they probably deleted or ignored that message. So we need to build awareness in that stage. We do that through content. Then we go through the consideration stage. Podcasting. Are there any people doing podcasts at the moment? You've got an organisation doing a podcast? So what's your podcast focused on?
Cybersecurity.
Cybersecurity, great. And so what was your purpose of doing that podcast?
Informing potential threats for organization on the cybersecurity level.
Great. So you're giving them value, building the awareness around that value, and getting them to think about you as a thought leader. How's that working out for you?
So far, it's something in progress. We have got 400 people listening, and it's something continually interesting. And
yeah.
We've got cybersecurity, something more and more interesting.
Definitely. And if you've got kind of a long-term goal with that, it's not something that you're just going to pick up and drop, right? You know that you've got to stay consistent with that. And those numbers, there'll be a critical kind of point where all of a sudden you're going to get a lot of followers because of what you're doing. Again, so now we're getting into the consideration stage. You're using podcasting for people to be able to consider you over and above your competitors. And then at that point then, when they're ready to make a decision with you, you give them different types of data. So there are 3 different ways that we need to think about connecting with these online customers. So grab your mobile phones again. We're going to do something else now. I want you to think about the industry that you're in. So I don't mind if it's cybersecurity. I want you to do hashtag cybersecurity. So grab your mobile phone. You can see the little search bar at the top. I want you to think about what industry you're in and put a hashtag associated to it. So hashtag cybersecurity. What industry are you in?
Agriculture.
Hashtag agriculture. Great. We've got hashtag manufacturing. Use one word. Think about what that high-level industry that you're in. I want you to go to the search bar and make sure you click on content. Not people, not groups, not pages, any of that. I want you to click on content. What you find is now, so this is what it looks like on mobile, and that's what it looks like on desktop, so depending on what device you're working on at the moment. I want you to think about the industry. I want you to go and do a little bit of reading, obviously afterwards, a little bit of reading about who's doing what and why they're doing it. Do you mind if I ask what you found?
Oh, I'm on there. I wasn't aware.
Okay. What for your content is from a hashtag?
Yeah, somebody interviewed me in a podcast.
Yep.
Put me on there, and I wasn't expecting it.
Nice. Good. So you found yourself. Excellent. So again, this is a step that I want you to think about taking. What industry are you in? Grab a hashtag and go and find some content in your industry. I've seen quite a few people smiling around the room, found himself. We need to take these actions and think about ourselves as a digital leader. And this is what you can do. So I'm going to give you 3 different things that you can do once you've found this content. Find a piece of content that's relevant to your potential target customer and go and share it. Share it on your stream. Now, a couple little tips for you. If the content itself has already got a lot of likes and people are commenting on it and it's potentially already got shares on it, LinkedIn will see that as a powerful piece of content that's gone viral. And when you then go and share it, LinkedIn will help push that out even further. So look at the content that's already got engagement on it, and it will help with your awareness when you go and share it. Now, when you share this piece of content, there are 3 things that I'd like you to think about doing. You can mix this up, but the first one is agree with what's being said. If it's a cybersecurity piece of content that was written by a very well-known organization that you know and trust, you share that piece of content and you give the reasons why you're agreeing with what they're saying. Because then people are thinking about you as that thought leader around what's going on. Number 2, challenge it. If you don't like it, put your stake in the ground and challenge what it is that they're saying. Be that thought leader. Or number 3, share it and tag the people that you know that would love this piece of content. I'm always getting tagged for people that are sharing content about bees because they found out about what my passion is now. I've only been doing it a year, but I'm always getting tagged. And because I'm on this massive learning journey with that at the moment, I love it. So tag somebody in a piece of content that you feel that's going to add value to your community. 3 different things that you can do with just finding a piece of content. We're not just talking about you producing that content, just finding that content. How many people here are, in the next 2 to 3 months, are doing one of these many things? You're running a workshop, you're at an event and you've got a stand there, maybe you're talking at an industry, maybe you're running a morning event, maybe you're going to an event where you're speaking or attending. How many people here are doing any of those things in the future? Okay, great. It's probably about 50% of the room. This is another great feature that LinkedIn have just brought out for you. It's called Event. You can set up an event for something that you're either doing or going to inside of LinkedIn and then go and share it. There are 2 things that LinkedIn are doing really well at the moment. 1, sharing live streams. 2, pushing events. So this is what you do from your mobile phone. You go to the bit where it allows you to go and click on your profile. You've got a little action down here called Events. It sits on your mobile phone. You click on that. You put some details in. So I put some details in about coming down here. It's not my event. I'm just down here. National Sales Conference, what time am I on? What's it all about? Where's the link going to? Then comes up here, I can then go and share it. So I can share it. So it looks like this. So I'm sharing it as a post. Excited to be speaking at National Sales Conference. Anyone interested in coming, I can now go and share it, maybe drop in a couple of hashtags. Or I can invite people in. So people that you know that would be interested in being down there in the same room as you, prospects, partners, invite them into this event on LinkedIn. Another powerful way that you can use this piece of technology by being a digital leader. The last part. First of all, I need you to rethink your value proposition. Then you want to be really thinking about remapping your community. And the last part is remastering your products and services. You have a new generation of people coming into LinkedIn specifically at the moment, Generation Z, that are used to using a social network. How can you come up with a digital solution to what you're doing? So in other words, getting revenue on a recurring basis, potentially, with your products or services, that you can then use digital as a way to find this new community and give them something of value in regards to what you're doing. Because ideas require action. I wanted you guys to take action today. This wasn't about delivering a keynote I did last year, which was great, but I wanted you to go away with some action and things that you could actually implement within your organization as a digital leader. So the very last thing that I want to give you today, I want you to have a little bit of fun with AI. We're very, very nearly finished. We've got a couple of minutes left. So grab your mobile phones again, please. I'd like you to go to this link, thinkdigitalfirst.com/chatbot. If you haven't got the time to do it now, again, I can see a few of you taking pictures. Just write this down, thinkdigitalfirst.com/chatbot. I'm now going to send you over to a page that I set up yesterday, taking you on a personal journey. Would you like to come and find out more information about me and my bees and what that means for digital leadership? Do you want to grab a copy of this presentation? No problem at all. You go on that journey and grab a copy of this presentation. You want to come and join me on LinkedIn or Twitter? I've got nearly 30,000 people on LinkedIn. I've got 30,000 people that read my content. I've got 35,000 on Twitter. I've got a lot of people that follow me around. Do you want to come and join me? Come and say hello. You can do that. This is a personalized journey that I'm sending you on based on what's important to you today. The reason why I want you to be thinking about this, it's another way that you can position yourself as a thought leader using technology. And the technology that I'm using, and I'll give it to you during that journey, it cost me $0 to buy. No money at all. Didn't cost me a penny to take you on this journey today. Think about how we can use tech better to personalize those journeys for our customers. I want you to be thinking yourself as a fire starter, both within your organization and within your industry. Be that person who makes a difference. I shared with you 5 different ways that we can think about where we're at the moment, so you can benchmark where you are today and where you want to be. So the very last thing is I want you to be thinking about this 9-step digital journey. This is a journey that my digital customers go on for my online training programs, and I've mapped it out. I know exactly what happens when, and I know what my conversion rates are at each one of these different touch points. The thing that I want you to be thinking about is, where do they start? That is the most critical thing for you to be thinking about. Do they start with a referral? Okay, great. Where does that referral go to? Do they find you on social? Do they type in a keyword in Google? They start in Google, come to the website, go to a landing page, get the contact details. Truly define what I like to call the customer acquisition journey looks like, and do it over 9 touch points. Because each one of these touch points will be thinking about adding value to the customer and ultimately win you more business. So my name's Warren Knights. 3 things that I want to give you today is, I want you to rethink your value proposition, I want you to remap your community, and I want you to remaster your products and services to win more business. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon.